Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. For this video, I've got for you a 4-part post from the subreddit Relationship Advice. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now, I'd like to thank all of you that support me in so many different ways. Truly, your support means a lot to me, so thank you. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's by user Pina Colada Whatever. My 24 female best friend, 24 female, is too handsy with my boyfriend, 26 male, and I think it's inappropriate. I know I should be careful calling someone best friend in a post like this, but I don't know how else to call Jessie. Our parents are great friends, so we grew up together, and she kind of had my back in high school. Long story short, on the teenager food chain, she was on top, I should be on the bottom. But nobody messed with me because I was Jessie's friend. Jessie is one of those people who require attention. I never minded though. Nobody's perfect, right? But now that I have my first real boyfriend, she doesn't know how to behave. Every time we are together, she is really handsy, always touching his arms, running fingers through his hair, complimenting him. And now she even started with the prank spankings on the butt, you know? I just feel really uncomfortable with it. Maybe it's normal? I mean, Jessie has a lot of guy friends, so maybe this is okay? My boyfriend never thought much of it either. Am I just overreacting? She is super pretty, so maybe I'm just jealous. Anyway, yesterday something really threw me off. Boyfriend had to do some work and I had a book thing, hobby. So we decided to meet later at a friend's house. They were getting together to drink and so on. Boyfriend finishes work early and calls me, but I don't really need him to come over to the book thing. I know he doesn't like it. So I just tell him to go to the friend's house. Then I start getting texts from Jessie, all like, "Girl, you gotta come to this party now, your boyfriend is wasted, lol. Lol, we so drunk, you need to come and stop us. I can't behave myself if you don't get here soon," and so on. The book thing took longer than I thought, and I was just getting mad and madder. But I am a very non-confrontational person, so I deal with it. I call my boyfriend when it's over because I don't feel like going to this party anymore, but I was his ride. So I ask him if he needs me to come pick him up. He says sure. I get there and don't even go inside. I am ready to release the hounds of hell on him, but he gets in the car and he is stone cold sober. I ask him if he was drinking and then show him Jessie's texts. He gets super upset and says she was lying. He wasn't even hanging directly with her, but catching up with a friend who just came back to town. He says I should have texted him letting him know what she was saying so he could confront her about it, since you don't even seem to be able to give that girl some boundaries. His words. Now I am thinking maybe I should talk to Jessie, but maybe she was just drunk and annoying me because she wanted me there. I don't know. I mean, this girl was really nice to me growing up when she could have been a bitch. I don't like how she behaves around him, but at the same time, I don't want it to look like I don't trust her. Is there a polite way of going about it? Or I should maybe wait and see if this happens again? Am I overreacting? OP, I don't think you're overreacting. I think your boyfriend is right and that you should set some boundaries with your friend. Maybe try to do it the most friendly way possible. Tell her that you feel uncomfortable with how she's behaving around your boyfriend and, if she could just simply stop her behavior. That doesn't mean you're not friends anymore or anything like that. Just ask her to respect your relationship. Now, even though you may request this in a friendly way because you say you are non-confrontational, this doesn't mean it's less relevant or anything like that. So you need to be very assertive with it. Now, regarding the text messages she sent, those are just absolutely weird. There is no need for her to send that kind of stuff, particularly if she knows you're going to see your boyfriend afterwards and you can tell that he's not drunk or anything like that. I really don't understand why she would send that kind of stuff. It's not even funny, so why? What do you guys think about this whole situation? What would you tell OP? Let's quickly go check out the community comments for this one, and then we can move on with the rest of the story. Throwing It Away 2424 says, since you don't seem to be able to give that girl some boundaries. Sounds like maybe he does mind what she does. Time to clear the air. Tell boyfriend to let her know the spanking and hair touch need to stop. You need to be on the same page, then go to Jesse. Jesse, you are my best friend and we have a lot of good history together. We are both growing and changing, and our ideas and beliefs are changing too. I'm starting to realize that I no longer want my best friend to spank my boyfriend or run her hands through his hair or up and down his arms. It's just not me anymore. I know you respect me too much to continue doing something that I no longer am okay with, so I wanted to make sure and tell you right away. Then wait and see if she continues the behavior. If she tried to flip it to jealous, flip it back to, no Jesse, this is about respect and about my personal beliefs and what is okay in a relationship. Sally Goo says, the way you talk about Jessie sounds like you feel you owe her something because she wasn't mean to you when she could have been. You don't owe her anything. Tell her how you feel. Deleted says, you should definitely talk to her. Maybe she did just want you at the party, but lying about your boyfriend is a weird way to do it, especially implying that she wanted to be with your boyfriend. That's very inappropriate, along with her wandering hands. Well, the community is definitely saying one thing to OP. You need to talk with your girlfriend, set proper boundaries. You don't need to confront her or scream at her or anything like that. Just tell her how you feel and ask her to stop. So now, let's move on to the first of 3 updates and see what OP did. Last night, we were alone because she wanted me to help her choose clothes for an event. I was at her place, so I thought I should say something. I wanted to say something. I was very polite and just said that I knew she meant no harm, but I didn't feel good about it. So I asked her if she could tone it down. I should have said stop, but I guess I'm weak. She didn't really say anything mean, but her attitude was a bit off, I think. She was looking at me in a scornful kind of way, and the way she smiled once I was done talking, it just felt weird. She didn't say anything else but, okay. And we just moved on to choosing her clothes and I left after. We were supposed to get something to eat, but she said she was tired. I'm not dumb, she was hurt. So I texted a common friend, more her friend than mine, and without getting into details, I just told him that I talked to Jess about something that was important to me, but that I was afraid she may have gotten the wrong idea from it. The common friend said, look, I don't want to get involved, but you should watch it. I asked what he meant. He said, nothing, just watch it. A little while after that, he texts me back and says, changed my mind, I do want to get involved, and sends me a bunch of prints of texts going back and forth between him and Jesse. It basically starts with him asking her if the two of us had a fight, cause I was worried. He was kind with his words. I don't mind him stepping in. And then just a non-stop stream of her being horrible. She says I had a big mouth and was judging her behavior because I'm a prude who doesn't know how to be around guys. How she taught me everything I know about having a life, and how dare I tell her what she can or cannot do, or how I should thank her for even having a boyfriend at all. Common friend actually called her out for being rude and no friend of mine. After the prints, he told me, I'm done with her, I give up, and you should watch it. He also said it was okay if I told her I had the prints. I didn't though. Didn't know what to say. I mean, she is not 100% wrong, but even though I know that, it really hurts to read those. This morning, I wake up and see she texted me late at night. She says she knows Pete sent me the prints, and she didn't mean to be rude, but it's ridiculous that I am jealous of her because if she wanted my boyfriend, she could just have him. You want me to prove it? So I'm being silly and should drop it, is what she meant. She ends it with kisses and a joke. So I don't know if she was being playful, apologizing, threatening, or being pragmatical. I didn't answer her yet. I don't know what to say. Should I even say something or should I just let it go? I wish I could talk to someone about this, but I am very private. I usually go to Jessie with these things. Help? Yeah, OP, Pete was right. She is no friend of yours. After you told her to please tone it down, which of course, like you said, you should have said stop, she should have stopped. She shouldn't have ranted to her friend when he asked her if there was a problem about all that stuff that you wouldn't even have a boyfriend if it wasn't for her. Even if in some weird way that could be true, this doesn't entitle her to the way she's behaving around him. That's not right. And also, all that stuff, if she wanted your boyfriend, she could just have him. You want me to prove it? That's not a joke. I mean, at least I don't find it funny, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people wouldn't find it funny if a friend of theirs, quote unquote, sends that type of a message. So anyways, at this point, OP doesn't know what to do or who to talk to. So let's move on with the next update to see what happened after this. My boyfriend is having sex with her. A friend convinced some other friends to send me prints of texts between themselves and either my boyfriend or best friend. They are pretty clear. I confronted my boyfriend. He looked lost, said he loves me and it was just sex. He says Jessie kept throwing herself at him, teasing him, and he said he didn't like her but still wanted to hang. He said he just had sex with her to see if she would move on and leave him alone, and that it only happened a couple of times. Says he won't do it anymore. He doesn't even like her. He loves me, asking me to please forgive him. From the texts, once I finally made it through them all, I think that Jessie went to the party where me and boyfriend met because she wanted to hook up with him. She had it bad for him, but he didn't feel the same way. She was trying to get him to break up with me and then to get me to break up with him. It worked. As of yesterday, he is a single man. In some of those texts, they are talking about some of the hookups. I feel like throwing up. I blocked him because he was still trying to get in touch. I ghosted her, but she just sent me a message saying she just heard what happened and you know this was probably for the best, right? And I feel like effing screaming. Wow, OP, I'm so sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I had no idea your boyfriend was gonna do something so stupid and crappy, and yeah, he deserves to be single and blocked. What kind of logic is this? Oh, I'll sleep with her so then she can leave me alone. I may have to do it more than once, but hopefully she will get the message. As for your so-called best friend, good riddance, OP, you really do not need somebody that toxic in your life. I am sorry she treated you this way because, you know, nobody deserves this, but it's best to know now what kind of a crappy person she is along with your boyfriend and get rid of them both. So now we are going to move on to OP's final update on this saga. Ex-boyfriend kept trying to get in touch through common friends. They kept asking me to unblock him and at least hear him out, cause he was really sorry, he loved me, he was a mess, he didn't mean to. Some of them went as far as to ask me if I was really sure it happened. They offered to send me prints of texts where he was talking about me, so I'd see how he always had great things to say and how much he cared. But I've had it with the print screen drama for life and said no. To the ones who insisted, I told them I wasn't unblocking him, had nothing to say or hear, and if they kept pushing me, I'd block them too. I ran into ex-boyfriend at this book thing I go to often, hobby of mine. Maybe I'm being presumptuous, but I think he went there for me. He didn't really have any business there, but I'm just speculating really. He asked if I had a few minutes for coffee. I said I was late. Lie. He walked me to my car. He looked so good, smelled great, he was so sweet. Was even wearing his hair the way I like it. I felt horrible because even after everything, I still like him. He apologized some more, said he knew I needed time and space, but asked if I'd consider giving him another chance cause he would wait for me. Said he would never talk to Jessie again and would act like they had restraining orders against each other. And I just found it really funny how everything he was saying required me trusting him, which I don't. So I told him I wasn't interested anymore and he should move on. I wish I had something snappier or wittier, but I had nothing. This was Saturday. I haven't heard from him or friends since. I think that was that. Jesse also kept trying to talk to me. Like I told some of you in comments, I had a trip coming up. It would have been me, Jesse, ex-boyfriend, and a few friends. Since Jesse couldn't afford it, my parents paid for most of her expenses. She must have remembered this right after everything went down and panicked because I had everything. Vouchers, confirmation emails, credit card information. She went crazy. Even showed up at my place. I wasn't home and my roommate told her to F off, exact words. I didn't block her at first because I admit I was having some fun watching her despair. I talked to my mom and she was amazing. Told me I should cancel everything, even if it cost us money. It was fine. So I did. And for one last bit of print screen drama, I printed all the emails I got confirming cancellations and sent those to Jessie with the word bye before blocking her. My roommate has been amazing. We were never really close and now I don't even know why. She canceled plans with her friends to stay with me and invited me to go with them next weekend. A few of you suggested I see a therapist, and I did, yesterday. I really liked it. It was just one appointment and I mostly just talked, but it felt good. She gave me homework. She talked a little about unhealthy and abusive relationships and asked me to think about my friendship with Jessie and try to point what was healthy and what was unhealthy about it. Made me realize she was never really my friend. She was taking advantage of me for years, and she even had me thanking her for it. Therapist also told me about this saying, I think that's what it is, called the narcissist's prayer, which goes something like, that didn't happen. If it did, it wasn't my fault. If it was, I didn't mean it. And if I did, then you deserved it. Which is totally how Jessie is handling this whole thing now. So good riddance indeed. And a final piece of gossip. Pete talked to me yesterday. He is checking up sometimes. He's a good guy. Again, he is gay, in case someone is still thinking this might turn into a romantic comedy. He said Jessie was super sure that since I broke things off, she and ex-boyfriend would hook up right away. But apparently, he doesn't have the same plans, and that freaked her out over the weekend. Pete says he really is a mess and went out drinking hard 4 nights in a row to the point he had to be carried home by his pals. And yesterday, they all went out for lunch at this burger place. Jessie was going to run her fingers through his hair or something, and he just pushed her away and told her to stop and to never touch him again. Great that now he manages to do that, huh? I guess in the end, he really did like me in a sick way. The thing is, I don't want to be with someone who likes me in a sick way. I want to be with someone who likes me in a healthy way. I think I deserve that. I am also thinking about taking the money I got back from the trip to go somewhere else by myself. Haven't decided though. Anyway, this will be the final update on this since it is unlikely that I will have anything new to add. Now, I think I just need time to heal and let go, you know? Thank you all again, you are the best. Well OP, good for you, and like you say, good riddance to the both of them. It sounds like you are on the best path right now. You are just going to focus on yourself, let yourself heal, and live your best life. You've got your parents' support, you're getting help from a therapist, and your roommate seems to be a really good person and might even introduce you to a bigger social circle where you can make new friends. So things seem to be looking good for you. And just as a side note before I finish up, that phrase, the narcissist's prayer that OP's therapist gave her, I like it a lot. I think it's very insightful. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.